Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Friendship Dawn podcast. Today is the week of November the 7th, and today's card of the day is Shaman of Spring. It costs 3 and a green for a creature-elf shaman from M15. When Shaman of Spring enters the battlefield, you draw a card, and it is a 2/2. Do you have any thoughts on this card?
I don't know. You haven't introduced me yet.
Oh, yeah. With me here today is my friend Skylar.
Hello. Yeah.
And I am Ivan. Wow, I skipped a lot of shit. Do you want me to say restart or?
How do you feel?
So, Shaman of Spring.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see.
Wait, okay, so it's the day I said welcome to the Friendship Dawn podcast.
Yeah.
It introduced both of us, but late, and then I moved on to the card of the day. Okay, yeah. I think we got everything.
Yeah,
right?
you just didn't ask me like the weather or anything.
Well,
again, I don't know if the weather.
I only asked you the weather the one day.
Okay, but now I expect to be asked about. This isn't important.
We were still trying things like setting up a brand, and then I found out that didn't work out. That was like from week to week, the weather is generally speaking the same.
Except for today when it was raining fucking cats and dogs.
I mean, yeah.
We also don't go outside a lot, so.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Anyways.
Shaman of Spring.
This seems like, I don't know, this is like a limited card that gets wheeled, right? Like, I don't know.
I think it's better than it looks. But also, when I was a kid, I was super excited about this card coming out.
What?
It has one word on it that meant a lot to me. Elf. I really like Elf Tribal. So if Elf Tribal is ever like somewhat playable at all in Standard, I fucking go for it, you know? And this is like the 13th like it's a elf that replaces itself, so it does something, and the majority of elves do fucking nothing.
Huh. Did you play Elf Tribal in Standard when this card was legal in Standard?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it was. It wasn't good enough. Yeah, not when this card was a Standard.
Oh, okay.
It was, so either the set before it or the set after it was, oh, I guess I have this page open that has a list of all. Magic 2015, July 12th, 2014. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so Theros and Khans have no elves in them. So it was basically impossible. Elves,
right?
But I was like, elves are back. This one is somewhat playable.
Huh? I had no idea you liked Elf Tribal so much.
Yeah, it was the first. Do you know the rare I got out of my first booster pack?
No.
Juarga Warcaller. I spelt Juarga wrong. Juraga. Yeah.
Oh, Juraga. Oh, this thing.
Yeah, it costs 1 green for a creature elf warrior. It has multi-kicker for a generic and a green, and it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter for each time it was kicked, and elves you control get +1/+1 for each +1/+1 counter on Joraga Warcaller.
Yeah, I remember this.
Yeah.
Huh.
Cool as fuck.
Yeah, this card is sick.
Holy shit.
What?
It's expensive now. If only I had kept it.
Thanks, Commander.
Thanks, Commander. Yeah.
Like, so, definitely, right? Like,
yeah. Like, Elvish Mystic was in the same set as this card, and, Genesis Hydra.
Oh, man. I remember Genesis Hydra.
Yeah. There were not enough elves, but, like, I was thinking, like, green-white elves, because there was a little bit of time where Ravnica was also legal.
Okay.
Did not pan out. Did not work, yeah. I ended up, of course, just playing Genesis Hydra instead. Favorite Magic the Gathering cards?
Yeah, pretty good one. Ooh, is that all you want to talk about?
Shaman of Spring?
Yeah, Shaman of Spring?
I guess you have anything you want to say about this, like, draft Jeff?
No. What's the... Some shamanic sects advocate for different seasons, each working to preserve nature's cycles.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. Fucking... Oh, hey, Johannes Voss did this art. Cool.
Oh, is that someone notable?
Yeah.
I mean, the artist, don't get me wrong, the art is amazing.
Yeah, here, let me... you'll know exactly when you see it. It's from one of the new secret layers.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, that's Johannes Voss. The two people. Also, Nick told me that he should have just bought the secret layer because he wants the carpet of flowers now, and it's like... the carpet of flowers costs as much as the secret layer.
Oh, that's funny.
I think it was funny, yeah.
It's weird. You want carpet of flowers for? Or carpet of flowers for?
Oh, it's really good in Legacy. I mean, yeah, it's a blue hate card. And it's one of the old ones, so you know it's good. Have you seen the card Death Grip? Death Grip's a great card, too. A black enchantment, and then it has black counter target green spell.
Why? Why would they make this card? That's so mean.
Alpha hits in a different way.
Wow. Oh, wow, its original thing says destroy a green spell as it is being cast. What the? Oh, you could just destroy spells, huh?
I guess. It's fucking sick, though.
I'm gonna play black, and rip up your card.
Yep. Original hate cards are just so fucking
really
abysmal.
hate. Yeah, really.
Gloom, 2 and a black enchantment. White spells cost 3 more to cast. Activated abilities of white enchantments cost 3 more to activate. You can't cast a white spell for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And also, if you happen to have a white enchantment, it's also fucked.
Useless.
Yeah.
Wow. That's... Holy shit, that's so mean.
Yeah.
Black just didn't want other players to play the game of Magic.
Well, no, it's like all the old hate cards.
I guess, yeah.
There's a ton of old hate cards that are just like, oh yeah, here's... Have you seen Boil yet? 3 in a red, destroy all islands?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, there's a one for planes, too.
That's ridiculous.
I can't remember what it is.
I will say...
Boil is the functional reprint of Boiling Seas. Which also destroys all islands.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I played it was either before pre-release. It was before an event. And some guys were like, hey, want to play like some Commander before the event starts? And I was like, sure, I'll play this. And he's like, yeah, I got this blue deck, you can play it. And then like he fucking... And I think it was Boiling Seas me. It just plays Boiling Seas. And I'm like... Oh.
Good thing I gave you the mono blue deck, huh?
Yeah. I was like, wow, alright, fucking cool. I guess I'll stop playing the game.
I got owned. Like,
yeah, wow, you
really tricked me into losing a game of Magic. Like, fuck, man.
So weird. Such weird energy.
Yeah. Speaking of hate cards, I have a really great story about an SCG open I went to. It was standard, and there's a Theros card called Peak Eruption. I played like a red-green, like big stompy deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
My opponent's playing mono red Devotion. This is Theros standard, right? So,
okay.
I win game 1 because they're playing a bunch of like red 1 and 2 drops, and I just play like a 4
drop.
Yeah,
or a 5 drop.
Yeah, 5 drop 4/4. Yep. Or sorry, a 4 drop 5/5.
Jesus.
Poly K, pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyways, I board in 3 peak eruptions because my sideboard is like trash. It's like no thought. It's like, yeah, 3 peak eruptions, 3 of the green hate card, 3 destroy target enchantments, and then just all 3s of just cards that generally kill thing. Yeah. So I boarded 3 peak eruptions, right? And I'm on the draw, and my hand is Llanowar Elves, Forest, Mountain, 2 peak eruptions, doesn't lay another 2 cards, right? And then my opponent mulligans, and I just go like, guess I'll keep.
Yeah.
My opponent mulligans again. And then mulligan down to 4 cards.
What?
Yeah, and this is before you get to look at 7 and put 3 back, right?
Yeah. They're only looking at 4 cards.
And then they're like, okay, I'll keep. Play a land turn 1. Don't cast any spells. I untap. Or sorry, I take my turn. Land Elvish Mystic Pass.
Yeah.
They then play a second. They then play a Nykthos. Cast like a Abbot probably.
Okay.
Or something. No, it wouldn't have been Abbot. Abbot was Magic Origins. But like a 2-drop off of their Nykthos, right?
Sure.
I peak eruption their mountain. They untap. They play another mountain. I peak eruption that one. They don't cast another spell for the rest of the game because their only land is a Nykthos. Wow. It was also one of the local players from across the state that I was playing in like the 6-1 bracket.
Holy shit.
It was like a really interesting
Turns out
experience.
your head empty sideboard was fucking unbeatable.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Anyways, that was that card of the day kind of like splintered into branches.
Oh yeah, it did. You went way off the rails with that one.
Shaman of Spring, not a very interesting card. Everything around it, pretty good.
I mean, is it interesting if it spawns an interesting conversation?
That's fair. Okay. Next we're gonna move into our weekly work segment.
Ah, yes.
Do you have any stories you would like to share with us today, Skylar?
I
have somewhere around, I think, 6 that I can say. 3, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I've got 8.
You start us off then. You start us off with one.
Okay. Here, pick one of these 8.
You can give me more than 120 at a time.
$10 blackjack table. 4 people at the table. 2 spots open.
Yep.
Or sorry, no, 1 spot open. Dude walks up, pulls out a 20, slams it on the table. Change him in. Give him, 4 red chips. He didn't ask for ones. Sick. I'm like, cool. He's gonna be here like maybe 2 hands.
Yep.
Puts 3 on the main bet, 1 on the side. Play a hand. Loses everything. Pulls out a 20.
Boom.
Slams it on the table. I change him in. 4 red chips. 3 on the main bet, 1 on the side.
Yeah.
Doesn't win anything. Takes out a wallet. Has 3 20s in his hand. Puts 1 on the table. I just look at the money that he puts back in his wallet and I think, you give me more than 120 at a time. This table is so fucking good too. So I show up to the table, not like 2 people there.
Sure.
They're gone within like a minute. 2 new people come up. This table is like one of those rotating tables where you always have like 4 people, but they're not the same over the course of 10 minutes.
Okay.
Dude comes up with like just 1,000 in green or some shit, right?
Oh my god. Yeah. Yep.
And there's people that are obviously like friends from like hanging out at the casino together, like maybe a dude and his dad and like one of the dude or like 2 of the dude's friends. They come up one at a time. One of them plays, and then another one comes and he's like, "Oh, I found you," and then he starts playing, and then another one comes up and is like, and then they play like 3 hands, and then the first one leaves, and then the third, and the 4th one comes up, and then just weird. We're in a group, but we're not gonna stay at the same table and play the same game.
Huh.
Yeah,
That is strange.
Anyways, the dude with like the green and like the dad and the kid are playing at the table, and like a fourth dude walks up. Fourth dude gets like 13 against the 20. Stay. Everybody audibly groans.
Yep.
I have a 20. Didn't matter.
Yep.
No one leaves the table. No one says anything. Couple hands down the line. Doesn't split eights.
Okay. Not egregious.
Yeah, not egregious. Everyone upset.
Of course. Oh, that seems perfect. That I could see that being perfectly reasonable in some scenarios. Everyone's angry.
I would have busted had, you know, he split his eights. Anyways, comes later down the line. I've got a 7. They've got 2 6s split. They split into 16 stay and 14 stay.
Mm-hmm.
I hit out to exactly 21. Nobody leaves the table. They start saying, "Wow, why would you ever do that? That's so dumb." Like audibly, very loud. No one confronts the man. No one says anything to the man. Doesn't care.
Yeah, they're being like hyper passive aggressive.
Being hyper passive aggressive.
Yep.
No one's saying anything, and then it comes down to the next hand. They've got a 16. I've got a 6 up. They hit. It's a 10. I flip over a 16, get a 5, 21.
Oh, yeah! Woo!
Dude, like, friends, like, father, just goes like, I can't fucking do this. Nah, like, I have to color up and leave. And I'm like,
oh
okay,
God.
Color coming in. And then he's like, nah, never mind, I'm gonna keep playing.
Oh my God. How broken is your brain? That's just like, I can't be here anymore. No, I want the dopamine, actually. It turns out I can't survive 8 minutes without the dopamine. Please, more dopamine.
Yeah. Anyways, also the dude who was playing all green orders a beer and then loses all of his money. Like, you know how when someone orders a drink, immediately what happens is that they hit the like slide that just like tumbles down like through cactuses and shit, and they can't win a single fucking hand because they have a beer on the way.
Yep.
Yeah. So that happens, and then he gets down to like $50, and he's like, I have to leave, and then he like walks away from the table, and then remembers. Ah, fuck, I have a beer coming. Comes back, plays his money.
Plays his money away. Yep.
Plays for a little bit longer, and then, he's like, okay, I'm out of money. I'm not going to buy again, but I'm waiting for a beer. Tries to give it to a dude. The dude's like, nah, it's fine. Or the dude's like, no, I don't want one. And then he's just like, really upset that he can't leave the table. I'm like, if you tell me where you're gonna go, I'll tell the waiter. And then he's like, I don't know where I'm gonna go.
Wow.
And then I was like,
what an honest answer.
Yeah. And I was like, okay then. That table was just a barrel of barrels.
Wow. That's insane. That's probably the closest we're ever gonna get to seeing somebody be like, I have a problem. And I need help.
Anyways. Tyler, your turn for a
story.
Alright,
so I've got a pretty slow $5 blackjack table.
Yeah.
Which is kinda nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like late on a Sunday evening.
Yeah.
Which makes it the perfect opportunity for these like 3 just like I don't know how to describe these people. They're just very not people who gamble at the casino.
Oh, new people.
Yeah, they're new players, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the person and their kid, and they sit down at the table, and they're trying to coach their kid, but they don't know book.
Yeah.
They just know like culture osmosis book, right?
Yeah.
Of like you don't hit 16s on a 6. You need to assume
if you're okay. So here's how cultural osmosis of book pans out. 16 and up, never hit.
Yep.
Dealer has a 6 or lower up, never hit.
Yep.
Dealer has a 20 up, dealer has 7 up. Well, you gotta hit. Any hand with aces could do anything. Doesn't had no idea what an ace hand does.
Nope.
Could be anything,
Could be literally anything.
Yep. And split hands and double hands, depending on where they learned cultural osmosis of book, either always split or never split.
Yep.
Or and double hands, always double 11s except against 10s. Only double 10s against 6s and belows.
Yeah, they were missing some of that. I don't think they quite knew what splitting was, but they sort of knew what doubling was.
Yeah.
But they asked the usual like obvious greenhorn question. Hey, can I double this? Can I double this 10?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can double whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. You can double blackjack if you really want.
But the best part is they also like the players trying to teach their kid like etiquette.
Yeah.
So they're like, you don't want to take cards away from the other people because then they can't get those cards.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure that you're playing by the book.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's like constant, like she's always, it's not even like she's really talking about book. She's more talking about etiquette. Like, oh, be careful. She's 100% sure that if you hit on a card you're not supposed to, it's gonna fuck up somebody else at the table. And it's just like every time that happens, I want to be like,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
How could you even begin to think that it matters?
Yeah.
It can't possibly matter. What do you mean you're gonna take their card? It's not like all the cards are face up and you're picking cards. It just looks like that. Because it's, I don't know, it's designed to look like that in some way. I don't know. It's just like,
yeah,
just a very wholesome folks who were not ready to gamble.
Yeah.
Just no idea what they're doing. Just like, I'm here to lose $130. Here you go. Here's the money. I'll be here for 45 minutes.
Yeah. I always love, people get super upset when someone does the wrong thing and then it turns out bad, but they never say anything when someone does something wrong and then, the dealer breaks because of it. They just,
Never acknowledged.
Yep, never acknowledged.
I am always quick to acknowledge it. If somebody splits 10s and I notice that I would have had 21, I am like, hey, dude, nice work, high five, you saved the table.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, if you wouldn't have split those 10s, I would have had a 21. Nice work.
Yeah.
The more people I can get to split 10s, the more fun my tables are going to be.
Why?
I have completely turned the corner. I want everyone to split anything, double any. I don't care. I'd make the table as fucking buck wild as you can. Please. I'll take anything over just people who are upset that book isn't working out.
Yeah.
Salty as hell.
My spreadsheet is not 100% accurate.
Why isn't my spreadsheet working?
Yeah. Which of my stories is next?
We're doing dealer luck. I wanna hear what absolutely bullshit thing you pull off this time.
Oh. This is not I don't do this.
Oh, okay.
Normal blackjack hands.
Okay.
$10 table. This guy's a regular. Comes up to the $10 table. Any hand he loses, dealer luck.
Fucking kill me.
I have a 16. Don't break, dealer luck. I have a 10, 20 under, dealer luck.
Oh. Oh no. Are you sure you weren't dealing Spanish?
No, it's $10 blackjack. L on the $10. I've seen this person at every $10 blackjack table, and it like devolves over the course of the night.
Oh my god!
2 up, hits out to 17. How do you always do that?
What do you mean? What could you possibly be talking about? What the
That's dealer luck for you. Wins anything at all? Completely silent. No positive feedback. None.
He
Nothing.
doesn't believe in it.
Oh, hey, I'm winning. Nope.
No.
Nope.
That's
Dealer,
not what's important.
dealer has any number below 21? Or sorry, any number below 22? How is this even possible? These fucking dealers are way too lucky. How can a dealer do this? They must be like the luckiest people in the universe. Anyways, I'm still up $100, so gonna keep playing.
Oh my god, what a nightmare.
It's just
My
the
favorite
way
is
he
whenever-
says it is like really. It's like he's upset and like, but he knew it was gonna happen. You
Yeah.
know, like
He's disconnected from... His brain is put together, there's a problem.
yeah,
But he's disconnected himself from the reasons that the problem exists. He's just upset that there's a problem.
yeah.
And it would be too difficult and it would be too crushing to analyze what the problem is.
I just think
Because he would have to look at himself and be like, I'm the problem.
yeah.
And it's easier to just be like, fucking lucky. Of course I get a 17 against the 2. Fucking lucky. That doesn't even make any sense. But like, you basically have a winning hand. Like, the hand's not even done. No one's been lucky.
No. When I have a 2 and then it hits out to 17.
Oh. That's not even that bad.
Yeah.
That's almost ideal.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Someone on a Spanish table once. Now, granted, this is Spanish, and
Sure.
me, you should probably never trust any statistics that any person says at any table at all. But I had a 2 up, and then he explained to the person next to me, or sorry, not next to me, next to him,
yeah, sure.
that actually, if the dealer has a 2 up, then they make the hand 90% of the time.
Wow, that's too often.
It's only 2 up, but still, like,
I almost believe that for Spanish.
yeah,
That's definitely too often, though.
yeah.
Not like you'd literally never win if that were true.
Yeah.
You would literally never win a single hand.
Yeah. You have a story?
Yeah, I got one.
Cool.
It's a Spanish story, but it's one that I like.
Yeah.
So I've got some Spanish players, right?
Yeah.
We're over by the roulette table. It's Spanish one.
Finish one? Yeah.
They're playing, and this is actually, I actually kind of enjoyed this table. Which is a surprise. So there's
Spanish one's like the good Spanish table.
Hey.
What?
There's no need to go that far. None of the Spanish tables are the good Spanish table. Nonetheless. So, there's this player at the Spanish table, and he's playing greens, everybody else playing red. He's playing pretty aggressive, everyone else playing pretty conservative.
Yeah.
He, like, gets up to go get more money, and the entire... Well, okay, so first of all, the entire table just fucking... Like, a group of, like, bored housewives just, like, thrashes this dude. Just like, oh, that dude didn't even know where he was. That dude had no idea what he was doing. Yeah. Just, like, absolutely bad-mouthing this other player. It's just wild. But it comes up in the conversation that one of the players was like, that they've got a kid. And the other players are like, no way. No shot.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like, we saw their significant other come up to the table, and the other player claims, like, yeah, I saw their significant other come up with a baby carriage. I know I did. Every other player is like, no way. I would remember that. That would be a significant detail that I would remember. So the dude eventually comes back, like, 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
And she, like, offhanded, sort of, not very smoothly, but is like, hey, you have a kid?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they were in Kids Quest, and then my significant other picked them up.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be like, fuck you guys. You guys all suck. She was right. Yeah. I bet she's gonna feel so vindicated. And you could see it on her face. You could just see that glow of like, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah. I was just curious because I thought and the other people at the table are just like, oh god, okay, yes. Which honestly is not even my favorite part. Yeah. My favorite part of this table is probably like 15 minutes into the table.
Yeah.
A few feet away, a woman's just like is like celebrating, like, woo, yeah, yes. And everyone at the table is joking, like, yeah, she probably won like $45 or whatever.
Yeah.
And one dude peeks over and they're like, yeah, she won the mini, like the mini. She's playing a progressive.
Yeah.
She won the mini jackpot, like $45.
Huh.
But over the course of the next 30 minutes, she just doesn't stop celebrating. This machine is like printing money for her. Like she just continues to win and like it culminates in her winning the like major like 12 grand progressive, and like the entire table goes from like whatever, she's only winning like $10, just like how much is she winning? What? Just incredulous, just like no, stop. There's a point at which I have to stop dealing because they're more invested in the slot machine than the game. And I'm just like, okay, cool, I guess we're doing this now. Like, two people get up to, like, walk behind her and are like, holy, how much did you win? Yeah. It's just perfect. It's so great.
I had a similar thing where, like, girl visibly screaming, audibly screaming from, like, a few ways over, like, oh my god, I can't believe it, and then everyone at the table was like, probably not that much. And then, like, one of the floors just, like, looks over and it's like, got the $100 grand.
Oh, yes! Oh, yeah, baby, that's so good. Oh, that's fucking great.
One of the people at the table was like, I mean, to be fair, I'd be crying too if I won $100 grand.
Perfect. Fucking perfect. Oh,
okay,
man.
Okay. I've got a...
Yeah.
Bam.
What else you got here? We've got... Oh, man. One or two?
Two.
All right, early outs.
Okay, so... This Tuesday, we normally have our scheduled Magic the Gathering Cube Draft at the friendly local game store, because the store owner lets us stay open past close, and we draft with them.
It's extremely sick.
Anyways, they're sick, so it turns out we can't do it there anymore.
Oh, poor choice of words.
But what?
I was like, it's extremely sick. They're real.
They're there.
Sorry, I was trying to make a pun. Continue.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Fuck.
All right.
Yeah.
Just keep going. I'm sorry I interrupted.
Yeah. So I had planned to get off work at 7 and then drive immediately to the event that starts at 7. Right?
Yes.
And the game store is like 5 minutes away from work. So that's reasonable on like any day, because I don't have to stay late to count the tips because somebody's on until 8, right? Like, So, and I might get the early push out. You never know.
You never know. Could get lucky.
Especially if the shift manager for the swing is there. Only thing they like to do is give early outs. So
Really?
yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
They reworked the schedule, or sorry, they reworked the system today so that everybody that was supposed to leave at 8 got the early push out and left 20 minutes early.
Why?
Because they really, I guess it's their way of like saving money or something. I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah. Anyways.
I mean, listen, if I was in a position to do that, I would probably also just do it.
Yeah.
If there were no consequences to my actions,
yeah,
I could just be like, I go home. I would also let people go home early.
Anyways, so now it's this thing where I'm getting off at 7. So the store owner is sick, so we can't do it there. So now we need to figure out a new place to do it. So we can do it at her friend's, who lives like an hour away, but I would have to go pick up some stuff first. So that would be like, because I was planning on using stuff at the game store, but the stuff's left at my house. So I would have to drive like 20 minutes home, hour out there, and then do the draft, and then do an hour drive home. And I'd probably have to pick everybody up on the way. So, you know.
Madness.
And it probably wouldn't get started until like 9, and then there's like kind of not a great point of doing that anymore anyways. You know.
Yep.
The normal things. But so we end up having to do it at my house, or so we plan around doing it at my house just because that makes that plan easier. And I have, you know, a table and like 30 playmats specifically for this purpose. But then it's still scheduled to start at 7, so I need to get home before everybody gets to my house at 7. But if I get off work at 7, that's impossible.
Yes.
That's like
not exactly how time works.
I need to drive home in negative 20 minutes, you know, like.
Yes. And
I won't have time to set up anything or like eat dinner or anything. So I'm like kind of stressing out a little bit. So I had thought I would have gotten out early too, because it's like a weekday. Like Tuesdays are normally dead.
Oh yeah.
But it's the tournament today.
Oh,
the blackjack tournament.
God.
So it's real busy. And like half the dealers are over at the tournament tables. And I'm just fucking like, I don't know what to do. I'm racking my brain thinking of like, do we want to start at 8? But then like people would have to leave at 11. I don't want to stay that late. There's so much going on. And then I just like walk up to the pit boss and I'm like, hey, are there gonna be any early outs today? And then they were like, I don't know, maybe. Why? I was like, I was just wondering. And they were like, do you want an early out? I can get you an early out. I was like, a little bit, but like you don't have. Yeah, no, I'll just give you an early out. It's fine. You always stay late anyways. You know what? In fact, you've been doing a good job. Here's 4 tickets.
Oh my god.
Go home an hour early, or go home an hour later, which is an hour before I wanted to leave anyway. So I was able to leave at 5 instead of 7. Get home, eat dinner, and also set up the table and have some time to relax at my house before everybody showed up. It was
wow.
It was actually ideal.
Hey, do you think there are going to be any early outs?
Yeah, go home early. Also, here's the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Yeah. And also, they explained to me that every set of 2 tickets that are like next to each other actually counts as 2 tickets. I thought they were just 1. So I actually had twice as many tickets as I thought I did.
Nice.
Yeah, so I have 20 tickets.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Tickets are just like, you know, they're like prizes. We
They're
trade
like
them
good
in
boy
for,
points.
Yeah, good boy points. We can trade them in for snacks and drinks and, you know.
Yeah. And also we can put them in like a drawing thing.
Yeah. We can put them in drawings that always say mystery on them. So like we can
Well, like, there's supposed to be a drawing for a free hotel stay or, like, a spa gift card or, like, there's supposed to be other drawings.
Yeah, but they all say mystery all the time.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's been the weekly work.
Hell yeah.
Check back after this ad break. I guess keep listening until the end of the ad break. Whatever. We're being really informal today, so go. Hello, everyone. Taking a break from the podcast to tell you all to subscribe to the Patreon at patreon.com/IvanTT. That's IVANTT. It's how you help support the podcast, how we get all of our stuff together, and you get a sick bonus in that all Patreons with the tier 2 or higher get a shout out. So quick shout out to Thunderbird145, who is our current tier 2 patron. Thank you, everyone, and back to the podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Friendship Dawn podcast. We are moving on to our board game bonanza. Skylar, do you have any board games you want to share?
Well, as a matter of fact, Ivan, I believe I do.
Oh, I think I have the same one. It's called By Order of the Queen.
No, I was going to do Candyland.
You hate that game.
I know.
It's your least favorite game. Okay, explain to everybody why you hate Candyland and why Candyland is a terrible game.
I hate Candyland. Well, sorry. I hate playing Candyland. Candyland is a terrific game for those of the age of 6 and under, and I will probably play Candyland a few times with children of my own. But I hate Candyland because the game's outcome is decided the moment that the cards are being done shuffled, which isn't. It's not really a game. There aren't any decisions to make. You don't decide whether or not to go on any of the shortcuts. Or like if a card just says, "Oh, travel 16 spaces from the end of the game." You don't go, "Nah." You don't you go like, "Oh, yeah, sure, I'll win the game suddenly for no reason because I drew this card."
Yeah. My favorite is that, like, a bunch of them have, like, double colors on them, and then, like, the majority of them have single colors on them. Somebody can just, like, draw a double color, just move, like, 20 spaces.
Just a billion.
And then you draw a single color, and then you move, like, 3 spaces. And then they draw a double color, and then they move, like, another... like, another
miserable.
15 spaces.
It's miserable.
And then you draw a single color, and you move 1.
It's a miserable game.
No rubber banding at all. It's just you know, Candyland's for winners.
Can you draw the cards good? How lucky are you feeling today?
Well, I've got some of that deal.
Shut the fuck up. God.
Anyways, my game, By Order of the Queen, which was not Skylar's game, apparently. Well, Skylar did own the game.
Yeah. I had a lot of trouble with that 3-letter word.
Yeah. 3-letter word, has an O in it. Probably costs 1 blue-green, breaks the format.
Why would you make an inside joke on our podcast?
I think at least 2 people could get that out of the 4 that listen to our podcast. We haven't hit mass appeal yet.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you want to talk about for By Order of the Queen?
It's just a really fun game. It's a really fun cooperative game, and it feels like you're. It does the thing that I like about Overcooked.
Yeah, it does. Sure does.
You're constantly thinking.
Should we talk about how, like, the rules of the game or anything?
I mean, like, in an abstract sense, I don't think we should mention, like, the names of the tokens and shit. Like,
sure. Like, the objective of the game is to complete 3 of the Queen's orders.
Yeah, and you complete the Queen's orders by, like, doing quests. And, like, if you succeed at quests, you get
rewards.
Yeah,
All
so
the while.
like there's 3 things you can do on your turn, right? So you can fight monsters, which like attack your villagers and kill them. You can try and complete the Queen's Order, which means you go on a you go on a special quest where the only rewards are that you get to complete the Queen's Orders, and then you can go on normal quests, which have different rewards based on the quests.
Yes.
And like each quest has like a
little stories you tell. Each quest has like little story bits.
Yeah. The eating contest was really my favorite one.
Wow, you like that one the most, huh?
Well, yeah, because it was it was like one that I could like picture in my mind so well, and like by the time we got to the later ones, we were so focused on like how much action economy we had and the things we needed to actually do. Like,
so earlier you mentioned that it does the thing that you like about Overcooked.
Yeah.
Go into more detail about it.
So Overcooked, as you manage the action economy, it's a lot different because it's a RTS, right?
Sure.
Rather than, you know,
turn-based.
a turn-based game. Where like the thing that you're doing is to like be relevant in order like to get 3 stars, obviously. Overcooked is like a different type of game if you just want to play it, right? Like the hyper competitive, I guess, or like perfectionist thing where you try and get 3 stars is you always have to be doing something and somebody needs to be moving towards and completing an action. And like the levels that are the hardest are the ones that hinder you from doing actions rather than the ones that require you to do a lot of actions per minute. Right? Because the ones that you'll have the hardest time doing are like the ones where there's sliding ice, and if you fall off the ice you'll die. Right? And then you have 5 seconds in which you're doing nothing and you can't like make up that action economy, right?
Ever.
Yeah, but like the ones where there's just like 3 boards next to each other and then you just need to like get the right ingredients. Like there's one with conveyor belts on the side that have like mushroom, tomato, and onions coming across, and you need to just make all the soups, right?
Yeah.
But the thing about that one is that nothing's hindering your action economy. The only thing that you're hindered on is ingredients. So like that level's really easy because you just take all the ingredients and then like chop them up and put them in soups. And if you don't need soup, then it doesn't matter. You can just wait, right? Like and you will eventually need that soup.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah. Like the only thing you're hindered by in that level is, you know, sometimes mushrooms just never come out, but like they come out often enough and you can back supply your ingredients. So like, okay, yeah. But like this game does the same thing with the action economy where you only get 4 actions before like things get worse.
More fires start, so to speak.
More fires start, so to speak. So you need to. So it's creating like the difficult levels of Overcooked, where you're constantly trying to figure out the actions you need to complete so that you can get the game through with so you can get problem solved as soon as possible, or figure out which problems you can ignore so that you can like move on. Because at the end of the game, we were just ignoring like you run out. There's 3 axes that you can lose the game on. One is that you don't have any castles left. One is that you don't have any villages left, and one is that you don't have any heroes to fight the monsters left. We just stopped caring about heroes at a certain point because we had so many of them, and we weren't really losing a lot of them. Maybe because we weren't following the rules very well, but
no, we definitely followed all the rules, and it became a problem because we stopped being able to do any of our special actions.
I guess. Well, no, the big problem was I was unable to do most of my special actions at the beginning of the game, but then later in the game I was able to do it over and over again.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah. I don't know. We were kind of like 50-50 on the special actions. Yeah. Also, mine and Grady's were the hardest to pull off.
That's true.
Functionally.
Yeah.
Right? Because we needed like a little bit under half of our hand to be the right symbol. And there's like 8 different symbols in the deck, so.
Yeah.
So an average hand has like a fifth of a symbol. Or sorry, 4/5 of a symbol. Yeah.
Yep.
You have to really curate your hand in order to
reliably get them off.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, good game. Good art design.
Oh, the art design's super sick.
Yeah, love
I really love the flavor of the game too, because it felt like we were playing a game of D&D, which is something we mentioned during the game. Is that we were playing it felt like we were playing a game of D&D because everything had its own like flavor and like characteristics. All the quests had like flavor text for them. that we read and did. Except like later in the game, we started skipping over that because
we were so stressed out about whether or not we were going to win the game.
Yeah, we were so stressed out about whether or not we were going to have enough castles at the end. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
But I think like I don't know. I really like that there's like a point in the game in which you can like laugh and have fun and like like the thing with the eating contest where like Skylar had an eating contest he went to and then he like rolled to see if he succeeded at the eating contest.
Failed miserably.
Yeah, and he just like vomited all over like everybody, right? And
yes.
The bad thing that happened there was that like one of our like trackers increased, which doesn't feel tangible, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like ooh, darkness grows or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing, and then after you do a first part of the quest, whether you win or lose, you do a second part of the quest. And then everybody still thought that he did good, and so they wanted to sing him a song.
And had me write the lyrics.
Yeah, and had him write the lyrics. But he failed that one too.
Yeah, which I rolled for and failed.
Yeah. We we like in our head like Skylar got really drunk. Oh, and the fail cost was that we lose a hero.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We have to retire. We have to retire one of our heroes.
Yeah.
Which is funny because the game says that the way that it's written is like the heroes retire, right? You retire heroes.
Yeah.
But the symbol for the discard pile of retired heroes is a crypt.
Yeah.
So it's like, do they die? Do they retire?
Some of them die, some of them retire.
Fair enough.
Anyways, so we were so we got to the thing where we imagined in our mind's eye that Skylar had gotten drunk and then, was a complete asshole the entire time to everybody who was trying to cheer him on. And then, one of the heroes just looked at the situation, looked at their life, and decided, yeah, I don't think I want to be a hero anymore.
Yeah, this is not what I want to do with my life.
Yeah. Which was a cool story we got to tell inside of the game.
Yes.
I'm
glad you had fun with it. Yeah. I have been wanting to play that for a while. That game sat in my closet, unopened. I would bring it over every now and again. Just never had the right... Like, it was never the right time to play it. So I'm glad we finally got to try it out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of fun.
Do you have any thoughts on the game?
Love the art design. Love that it comes with a coloring book.
Oh, man.
That's great. I'm a really big proponent of, like, indie games. So... and I think that one is designed really well.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what to do with the small cards because like all the normal sized cards have like little slots that they fit in.
Yeah.
But there's an opening in each of the slots so that you can use your fingers to get at, and the smaller cards slip through the openings. So I'm like, where do the small cards go? So and you were right by just like put them in a bag and like.
Yeah.
Put them in one of the slots, but like other than that, put away the game was really easy.
Yeah,
it's always good.
That's always a good thing. I love games that just here's 50 bags.
Yes,
do it.
Absolutely. The game came with its own bags. Like
yeah.
I also love a game with cards and dice. Classic. Like any game that has you play cards and also roll dice is like it's like what I'm here for.
That's fair. I find it hard to design games with dice. Not because I don't think dice is a good mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I don't like the design aspect of using dice.
Really?
Yeah. It's also like adding a component to the game, right? Like
sure.
Typically speaking, the games that I design are, just a deck of cards, and then we play with that deck of cards, right?
Yeah.
So like adding the dice to that is normally...
It's just a different way to add variance.
Yeah, a different way to add variance. But, like, it, like, triples the cost of components or something like that. Like, great, because you have to put dice in every box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And I think that's something to think about when, like, designing games. But as far as, like, games that I want to play, dice are really satisfying.
Yeah. That's fair. That's why. Never mind. That's an inside joke. Oh, I also have another inside joke that I want to say about the coloring book.
Oh yeah.
So now you can play Modern Storm because the joke is when you play Modern Storm, you start storming off, and you take out a coloring book, give it to your opponent, and you're like, here you go. Then continue storming off.
Oh my god, that's very funny.
A joke made because of a particularly slow player at the local game store who used to play Storm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sick. On to Movie Minute?
On to the Movie Minute. Do you have any movies that you watched this last week? Or shows?
Yeah, I
stuff
watched
like that?
I watched a show our mutual friend recommended called Paranoia Agent.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
I watched Mirai last night, which is a movie on Netflix, an anime movie. It's about a kid. He has a baby sister now, and the kid, you know, is no longer the center of attention, throwing tantrums. He's like 4. I want to say it's hard to tell because it's anime, but like a young kid.
Yeah.
Upset that like parents aren't paying attention to him anymore. You know, usual stuff. And then he like, the tree in his yard is magic, and whenever he like stumbles in front of it when he's upset, he like teleports him to a it doesn't teleport him. Well, it kind of does, but like it takes so like he talks to people in his family basically. But like, you know, he's a kid, so he's like interacting with like people in his family in like a weird way. One is that the thing teleports him into the past, and then he's like in a motorcycle shop with his great granddad, right? And his great granddad's like 30 at this point or whatever, right? And then his great granddad, he was like earlier it was about them riding a bike, and then his great granddad takes him on, you know, a horse and then like a real motorcycle, and then he gives him basically tips on how to ride a bike, like third or fourth wave. But you know, the kid calls his great granddad his father because, you know, he doesn't, or his daddy or whatever, because he doesn't know the difference.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting and cool movie. Not really like really drama, like slice of lifey, but it's also all from the perspective of like a kid. There's a lot of stuff it doesn't quite answer that I found interesting, but you know, it's also like I don't think there's any way to find those answers. Like hidden the ethos. Like I don't know. Do you think you're gonna watch it? Should I spoil something?
I'm probably not gonna watch this. Not gonna lie.
Cool. Yeah. So there's one point in which like he's upset because, you know, he's 4. He wants to wear his yellow pants, and his yellow pants are in the washer, right? So his parents are like, you can't wear your yellow pants on the camping trip, and then he cries and blah blah blah, and then he's like, I'm gonna run away forever, and then, you know, he stumbles into the yard, and then it like teleports to like a train station, and then like there's a person there, and then the person says, oh, you don't want to go on the camping trip because you don't have yellow pants. Well, it's all about making memories, kid. Fucking grow up. Jesus Christ. And then like later it's revealed that the person talking to him is like actually himself when he's older.
Oh.
Yeah. And the kid is like, but before he stumbled into the train station, he's like, I'm gonna run away or whatever, right?
Sure.
And so like the train comes, and then he's like, oh, I'm gonna leave. And then, you know, him from the future is like, you don't want to get on that train, kid. And they're like, you know, of course the kid gets on the train and goes to the train station and gets super fucking lost.
Yes.
You know, and like, it's like, does that mean that in the future he does run away when he's older? Like, I don't know. It does weird time shit too. Like, one of the people that he meets is his younger sister, but older. Like, his younger sister, but in like high school or middle school.
Do you think that the show is meant to represent that, like, not as though those events are actually happening, it's how he's processing these events taking place?
Maybe.
Right? It's just like he sort of disconnects.
I don't know.
It's
Japanese anime.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Yeah, could be both.
Could be both. Yeah, I watched Paranoia Agent, which is it's a mystery thriller.
Yeah.
It is about a a collection of. So it's strange, right?
Yeah.
The first 7 episodes are all one contained. Are all like connected.
Yeah.
It's a story with an arc. It is about
Yeah. The first arc is the first 7 episodes.
Yeah, but then after that, it becomes this anthology series.
It becomes all filler. Got it.
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much. I don't know. It's very weird.
Yeah.
There's still because like the show is about this. It's like a young man who is like going around and attacking people on the street with a crooked bat.
Yeah.
It's just he'd like, and it is specific to people who feel emotionally hurt.
Yeah.
Right. He then attacks them, and then their lives are changed from that point on, in some way or another.
Yeah.
And the first 7 episodes sort of revolve around this mystery about these like a couple cops who are like trying to solve the case of why this kid is doing this and who this kid is.
Yeah.
And the show is interesting. It came out in like 2004, so it's in a period of anime that I really like.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just the show was good, and then it takes this like. I haven't finished it yet. It's 13 episodes. I'm on like episode 9 or 10. I'm not done with it. I don't know if it eventually like comes back to what happens.
Ties all the threads together.
Yeah, but like these last few episodes have been completely devoid of what the other show is about. So we have that the arc like ends in this culmination of these the 2 like police officers we've been watching throughout this entire show getting fired. Because the investigation goes poorly. Yeah. And then from that episode, it moves into an episode about these 3 people who were on like an internet chat room.
Yeah.
The time period this takes place in is like right around the internet being
2004.
Oh, is that? It felt earlier though. It felt like it was like 90s maybe. When was the internet like first starting out?
Like very first starting out? Like what do you mean? Like are there chat rooms? Is it about chat rooms?
Yeah, it's about chat rooms.
It's 2004.
Really? Yeah. Well, anyway, it's about these 3 people who are in a chat room together, and like, pretty early on, you discover that the chat room is about them wanting to commit suicide.
Yeah.
And like, I love the episode.
Yeah.
But like, not really because the episode is about anything that the rest of Paranoia Agent has been about.
Yeah.
It just tells this really like off-putting story about these 3 people who are like trying to commit suicide, and then also this the like serial attacker, little slugger, whatever, or whatever. I don't remember exactly what the character's name is.
The Paranoia Agent.
But yeah, the like titular antagonist of the show like shows up in the middle of the episode. And like that's the only connecting factor that it has, other than like a couple of like it takes place in the same setting.
Yeah.
Which was really weird. I was like ready to see what happens with this other story, and it's just like, nope, we're done with that. We're going on to these other single like contained in a single episode stories.
That's interesting. I don't know a lot of do that.
Yeah.
I mean, other than of course like the One Piece where it's like one whole arc because the manga has finished it, and then like the 7 islands that were there for like one episode and then disappear.
Filler.
Yeah, absolute definitely filler.
They don't feel like filler. They feel still like a part of Paranoia Agent. The other thing too is that our mutual friend mentioned that it has a very from what I remember about the conversation, it has a very powerful take on social media.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if I'm just not observant enough to see it, but I feel like I'm still trying to find the connection.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's the episode about the three folks who are in a chat room. It's like this older guy, this like kind of like middle-aged, very tall dude, and this young girl, like in like middle school.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't directly make the connection that social media is at fault. It just makes it that social media is the reason why it brought these three people together.
Yeah.
And there's some like trace elements, but it's still, I guess I'm still missing it. Problem, and I'm still waiting for the show to, if it does have like a commentary on social media, I'm still sort of, I guess, waiting for it.
Yeah.
And it might just be that I'm not observant enough to catch it. That I'm too used to watching a show to like
enjoy it.
Or like just be interested in the story it's telling and not the message it's trying to send. Which is possible. But like, I don't know. The like first quote unquote arc, really good.
Yeah.
And the show, it's not exactly the horror I'm into, but like a psychological thriller is really enjoyable to me.
That's fair.
It has like it's less sci-fi than Psycho-Pass, but Psycho-Pass definitely took some like
Well, Psycho-Pass is in the year like 2150 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So like books don't exist anymore, basically.
Yeah, fair.
But like that's a thing the character says. It's just, you know.
Still enjoying watching it.
Yeah.
I just was hoping that it would be all like one kingdom. I was sort of taken aback that they would go take like an anthological side to it.
Well, maybe they haven't. Maybe you haven't found the thread that ties the needle together or something.
That's true.
Anyways, also on Sunday, I want to say, me and my significant other spent the whole day watching the third season of You. Oh, we had watched the first 2 episodes of the season, or like the first 3 episodes of the season, like over the past couple of weeks. You know, 1 episode at a time, and we were like, okay, this is really cool. Let's finish it out. Good. Really bad to watch a full season of You in one sitting.
Why?
It just all kind of like unravels. You know, like if you watch to the end of an episode and then like turn it off, and then like come back a week later and watch the recap, and then like start watching it again, it's a lot easier to digest what's happening, because you know, 1, you've had more time to forget like small details, and 2, you no longer are focusing on the things that they mentioned in the last episode. So the whole thing is, You is about like the dude, the like stalker guy.
Yes.
And how he like kills people for love or whatever, right?
Sure.
And then like season 3, he's married to a girl who like also kills people for love or whatever, and it's about him trying to get out of this relationship or something. But like the person he's in love with, who is named Love, and the main character's named Joe, are like, well, Joe doesn't kill people throughout most of the season, but like Love just kills a lot of people. And the season's a lot about how like, well, Love's the bad guy, and then like, but also like it doesn't. The way the show frames stuff is super weird, because 1 episode is about how like Joe needs to pay more attention to the child, and the next episode's like, well, yeah, but like Love's a murderer, so like, and like the juxtaposition of each episode is really hard to like swallow, because there's a lot of points in which you're just going like, why? Why would Love do that when last episode Love just said she didn't want to? And stuff like that. Like, she has an affair with the kid, And like she's constantly saying stuff like, "Oh no, we can't talk to each other anymore. Stop talking to me." And then like she's like, "Okay, let's kiss." And it's like, what? But the thing is like there's an episode where like they get carried away and they have sex, and then the next episode's all about like, "Don't talk to me. We can't do this anymore. We can't do like." And then the episode, like the entire episode, she's just trying to break it off with this kid and tell him stop texting me and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
And then the next episode, we find out that she's been secretly paying for Uber rides for him. It's like,
why?
Yeah, why? Right?
Why?
And then the episode after that, it's like this thing where like every time he comes over to like talk to her, she's just like, "No, we can't talk about this. We can't talk at all." And then the dude's like, "Are you still gonna pay for my Ubers though?" And then she's like, "Yeah, why?" It's just like so many things just like sine wave around each other, and like if you just watch the recap, you don't like catch up on that stuff so much, you know?
Weird.
Yeah.
All right.
Other than that, the ending was pretty cool. I thought the show was like pretty okay. They did a few things that I liked a lot. You're never gonna watch it, are you? That's the spoiler alert now, by the way. If I ask Skylar, "You're never gonna watch it, are you?" That means I'm about to spoil shit.
Oh man, if you only had mentioned that the last time you.
Well, yeah. Well, now everybody knows we don't have to mention it in a further episode.
Just cut that part out and put it in front of it the first time you say it.
Yeah. Anyways.
Continue.
Yeah. There's a point where he like finds a gun in somebody's stuff. He's like, "Oh fuck. Why did this person bring a gun to our house? What the shit?" Well, it's Chekhov's gun. Well, now it's Chekhov's gun. Either I'm going to fire it or somebody else will, and then just puts it in his back pocket.
Does he say that?
Well, he thinks it, right?
Yeah.
You has overlays with people thinking, right? Like,
Sure.
And then it's just like.
But the show
really
states specific, like word for word. Well, this is Chekhov's gun now.
Yeah. And then he shows it to Love, and then Love takes it. And then in a later scene, he's in a fight with somebody, and he's like, "Is there a trope for wanting to fire Chekhov's gun, but not having it?"
Huh. I don't know.
I really like that.
Yeah, I suppose. It's a little too...
There's also a scene in the very beginning where they rebuild the cage thing. And there's a scene in...
Season 1?
Yeah.
Why?
Uh,
Presumably to keep somebody in it. That's a dumb question, but like...
Yeah, to give them time to think about how to solve problems rather than just killing people, I guess. I don't, the logic's pretty flawed. They're psychopaths. Anyways, there's a fucking great scene in which both of them hide a key in it. Because in like the first season, Joe gets trapped inside by the first girl.
Yeah.
And then he just finds the hidden key and like unlocks the door from the inside.
Yes.
And gets out, and then like that, like it's that scene of like they don't trust each other. In the end, two people are stuck in the cage, and then they're like fighting, and then they're like, but they're married, right? So they love each other, and then like they're destitute, and they're like, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do. They've been trapped in the cage for like 2 episodes, by the way, because like you know the last 2 episodes is like a course of like 6 hours maybe, right? As like these shows that are really drama based go.
Sure.
Anyways, and then like one of them just looks over at the door and goes like, "There's a key thing on the inside. They don't trust each other. There's keys hidden in the room." And then there's like a montage of them throwing all the bags around and just trying to find the hidden key. And they do, and that's how they get out.
Huh. That's funny.
Yeah. I really like the Chekhov's key. Anyways, that was the movie
All
minute,
right.
everybody.
Okay. Yep.
We're gonna go on to our second ad break. See you all soon.
Is it a
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Friendship Dawn podcast. We are now moving into the Think Tank segment.
Subsegment. As the person who wanted to introduce this segment, I feel like it's my responsibility to take ownership of it. So, my idea is that you and I are each going to, on the count of 3, say a genre of board game, and then it's up to us to create or brainstorm the concept of a board game that we would both want to play.
Okay.
Using those parameters.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So
do we go on scissors or shoot?
We're going on. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, and 1 up. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then I'm going to make the hand motion for 3, and then we're both going to say genre of board game.
Got it. Scissors.
Okay. So 1, 2,
cooperative.
Okay. So a cooperative party game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
So what immediately comes to my mind is Unlock. Unlock is a cooperative party game.
I don't think. Well, I wouldn't consider Unlock might be a party game.
Like 6 people, it's like really casual. The rules are really easy.
Yeah, sure.
Everyone just like looks at their cards, stares at them, and thinks.
But Unlock's already been made. We have to make a new cooperative party game.
Yeah. But it's good to start with things that are successes, right?
Sure. Unlock. What's another cooperative party game?
Not
a whole lot, are there?
Yeah. It's pretty difficult to make a cooperative party game.
What if... I think I've got it. So there's a television show called The Cube. You know what that is?
No.
Okay. So 2 people are locked inside a cube and they have to complete various childish games to win money.
Oh, okay.
And they have... Anyways, I guess the box isn't germane to the point. My thing, it's also the cube has a personality.
Okay.
Right? So it's supposed to be an AI computer that's taunting you, being wow, I don't really think you can do this.
Okay.
So what I was thinking is we can have there's an app that you can download, much like you would download the Unlock app.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to perform a series of mundane tasks in order to beat the AI.
Yeah.
Right? So I guess the game box might come with a collection of spoons and cards and other little tchotchkes, and the AI would be all right, in order to complete this challenge, I need you to find the ace of spades in the deck of card using only the spoons.
Yeah.
So you and your friends would have to use the spoons to flip through the deck of card
yeah.
And flip over the ace of spades.
This is interesting.
Yes.
I just don't know how much depth this game has.
Okay.
I really like the idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing is use spoons to find the ace of spades seems not the bottom of the barrel, but
sure,
the only thing in the barrel.
That was the most basic example I can think of. All right, let's add a board. Right?
A board.
Let's add a board, and then let's give it a shot.
I think the problem is that how many tchotchkes are there, and how many of them, and how many combinations are there, right? Because there's marbles and spoons, you can be use the spoons to get all the marbles into the barrel, right?
Yeah.
But then what's the marbles and cards, right? Theoretically, let's say we have 5 tchotchkes, right? So that means that we have 10 different mini games with 5 tchotchkes. But that's only if every set of 2 tchotchkes creates a mini game.
Yeah. Okay.
See, that's where the problem I run into, right? Like, how many different chassis do we need before we have like a number of
tchotchkes? Okay.
Yeah, that the games are, like the games aren't like repeatable, and
okay. So, what do you think about the general concept though of it's you and your party, right? Like it's because it's a party game, so it's you and your group of friends competing to beat this phone AI.
yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay.
It's just I don't know if we're beating the phone AI though.
Do you think we can do like an unlock thing where like we're trying to save it, and then like we have to like play cards in order to help it or something? Or like there's a Mysterium element. Would you consider Mysterium a party game, or is that more of like a board game?
Mysterium's like a board game.
Okay.
Mostly. I don't know. Like, I guess, like, well, if we're like, are we trying to beat the AI? Like, what's the AI doing?
Exactly.
That we have to
beat
need it.
The objective. The objective of the game, other than just like generically winning.
Yeah.
The objective of the game. You're right. That's the tricky part.
Like, what is the AI? Why do we have to beat it? Blah blah blah. And if we like, if it's like an AI, and then we do like the unlock thing, then we're just unlock, right?
Sure. What are your thoughts? Scrap the idea. Try to come up with a new base party cooperative game.
Not particular. Like, I don't know. I think the app needs to be like a good part of it. Most party games use apps now, right?
Fair. Yes.
It's just like, what's the app doing, and what is the combination of the things? And like, if we think about party games,
to set
like
up challenges.
Yeah.
That quote unquote challenges that you need to then do smaller party mini games to complete.
You want to do Mario Party?
Yeah, but cooperative Mario Party. That's why there's no fighting.
Yeah. That's interesting, but it's It's just like the amount of cooperative mini games I think might be a problem.
Perhaps.
Because cooperative mini games aren't like very expansive. We don't have a ton of those.
Which is why it's an open space to play in.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, but the thing is I'm saying is like the reason that there aren't very many is because that the mechanics of building cooperative mini games is very difficult.
Okay. So, we've got cooperative minigames against the AI will set up cooperative minigames that you have to complete.
Yeah.
In order to...
And then, like, sure, there's, like, a game board on the app, and then, like, you move across the game board to get to the end, right?
Yeah.
And like, we can flavor that with, like, whatever, like, Journey Through the Woods or whatever,
space,
I don't know.
Journey through space, Journey through... Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's fine. My problem is, like, the cooperative minigames and, like, what are the elements of the cooperative minigame? Like, that's the problem to me. Do we have, like, one deck of cards, and then, like, the deck of cards, or, like, multiple deck of cards, and then, like, one of the deck is, like, this is the quest that we're doing, and then, like, you have to use, like, in-game elements, but then at that point, it's probably too component heavy to be, like, a party game, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking about. Is like cooperative mini games that a large group of people can do seem very hard to pull off.
Sure. Then let's set up this. We have an infinite budget.
We have an infinite budget. Okay.
Yes.
Well, the problem with the components isn't the budget. The problem, like, I already was assuming we had an infinite budget.
Okay, yeah.
The problem with the components is that if everybody needs components, then, like, it's not a party game anymore, right?
I don't know. Would you consider Cash and Guns a party game? Because that's a party game with a lot of components.
I would consider Cash and Guns a party game, yeah.
Yeah, that's a party game with a lot of components.
You make a good point. Yeah.
Because like it could have stuff where you like need to set up like a little target, like little target practice things, and then you have to like figure out a way to use rubber bands to like shoot the targets in a set amount of time. Maybe there's like a section of the box that is a deck of playing cards, and like rather than needing to do it with some specific object, the group has to figure out how to do it without using your hands.
Yeah. This is interesting.
Right? The AI, maybe it's not even the AI sets up mini games, but maybe the AI sets up puzzles that the group has to work together to solve. A little bit like Unlock. Or it's not escape room stuff. It's more just like puzzles that require a group's brain in order to solve.
Or like a group's body parts too.
Yes,
like,
or group body parts, yes.
Interesting. Yeah, I like it. I think that like we've hit the idea.
Yes.
We would just need to break down into like how many mini games we would actually be in the game.
Cool.
I think that's where like I'm getting stuck. That the reason it's hard to conceptualize this game is because the amount of mini games feels restrictive. But I think we could, given enough time, we could probably hack out this game at this point.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Given enough
Right?
time.
Like we put rubber bands in the box and like jacks, and then like you just use the rubber bands to carry the jacks from like.
Or yeah, you have to like use the rubber bands to carry the jacks from one end of the table to the other. If you drop them, you have to hit the penalty button.
Yeah, exactly. And then like the penalty button is like, okay, eat one of the jacks.
Or take a drink or something. Like we could go. Now we're off to the races. Boom.
Yeah.
I hit the ground running.
Perfect. That was a good think tank. I like that.
Yeah, me too. Nice work.
Yeah. Go team. Anyways, we're now reaching the friendship dusk part of the podcast. Skylar, do you have any closing thoughts you want to leave off on?
I'm happy I got to lead a segment. I think it was pretty successful. Maybe reoccurring if we like find a dearth in. Also, I rediscovered the comfort of the robe over the course of the week. I was like, I'd gotten home from work. The robe was laying on the side of the couch, presumably because my using it and got dressed. And I was like, I get out of my work clothes and I slip on the robe, and it's just immediately. And this is kind of an old robe.
Yeah,
I've had it with me for a long time, even like a little small, but it's still just like slip it on. It's immediate comfort. It's just like, it's like, it's funny how like certain like sets of clothes can put you in a.
Yeah,
I think that's really. What about you?
There are 2 things of pasta over there that are open. I don't know. Chance. Look. But like in my head, every time I think about this problem, I immediately go like, but pasta never bad, so it doesn't matter. After work, what I normally do is
You're gonna need to retry that set. Didn't get caught.
Oh, somebody didn't get caught?
Yeah, we're starting from a little.
Oh, I'm also like looking at the pasta at the other end of the room while I'm trying to say it. Yeah. So I have 2 half consumed things of pasta over there that I'm not gonna look at, but I really want to because I'm talking about them.
I'll look at them for you.
Okay. So the pasta things have been are there's 2 separate ones, and there's half left in both of them. I'm thinking about when I'm gonna eat the other half. But every time I think about this, I'm like, well, but pasta never goes bad, so it doesn't matter. And so I just have the two open things of half pasta over there, and then like what?
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Pour them both in the same pot and cook them both at the same time.
Well, that's too much pasta for me.
I'll
You also
share
didn't let
it
me
with
finish. It feels really weird. So like after I'm done with a long day of work, I go to the local Taco Bell, order 3 piles of barf from the local Taco Bell, wait for 30 minutes, get it, and then, drive home and eat it with the 2 half completed things of pasta over there. And the last time I ate both of the pastas, they were like a little bit subpar. So now every time I think about it, I'm like, but to be fair, I do know what made
the
the
whisper didn't get caught.
I'll do it next time, is what I whispered.
Okay.
Fucking Christ. No, why can't the microphone have super hearing? Anyways, I know what made the penne pasta bad. I accidentally bought the wrong cheese and didn't realize until I had put it on the thing. And I was like, the fuck? Why does this Parmesan taste like mozzarella? And then I looked at the bag and I was like, oh, that's fucking...
Mozzarella is also like a pasta cheese, though.
No, it's not.
Really?
No, it's a pizza cheese.
Mozzarella is one of the best cheeses.
For like pizza.
Like S tier cheese in general.
It's not great on pasta. Especially the type of pasta I was putting it on.
I don't know. I love mozzarella.
Okay, well, to each their own. Anyways.
XXX mozzarella defense. XXX long on.
Anyways, thank you all for listening. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you all next week. Oh, there was another closing thought I wanted to say. You and I have all of the same days off next week. See you next week, everybody.